Where do we go from here? Often a question that's asked when things seem to be reaching a sticky point. When all is doom and gloom, it's easier to get despondent, to give up, to blame others, to feel aggrieved, to feel depressed, which actually is a much incorrectly and overused term. To stop trying, to leave things for others to sort out. So why do we feel tired and lethargic from all the things that we're not doing? Because logically we should have lots of energy, but we don't. Why do you think that is? Maybe it's because all those negative things sap our energy far more than positive feelings. We put a lot of emotional energy into being the victim, into feeling powerless, and thus we convince ourselves that we don't have the energy to fight back. We get ourselves into a state, and that state is one that we don't want to be in, but it's one that's so self-convincing that we can't find a way out. It's almost like walking along a country path and finding the vegetation is closing in behind us so that we can't turn back. So what to do? There's always power. There's always a way. Clearly, if the path that you came along now is overgrown, hacking your way back through the growth to get back to where you were is pointless. Mainly because you are trying to get back to the start of the route that got you where you are now. There is a phrase, never look back, and there are circumstances where this is good advice. If you're in a depressed state, you're not well equipped to start analysing anything because you're lacking the energy to do this effectively. So just for a while, put that aside. So step one, accept where you are now. Look around. Take stock of everything around you. Friends, family, relationships, home, money, interest, skills, resources, and look too at the environment you inhabit, both your immediate home and the area in which you live. Now, this is quite a big task. It's asking you to analyse your own situation. Now, I'm not talking about looking back and analysing why you are in the condition that you are now. I'm asking you to look at how you are just now. And it will help if you write this down, because it makes it more real, more tangible, and it's something that you can go back to and adjust as time changes your perception. So make the lists and maybe ask others how they see your life. You might be surprised, shocked, or warmed by what they see. And if it helps, make notes about this too. Literally, put them on the table and compare. If you've got some artistic ability, create an image of how you see yourself. And then draw the image that others describe. And again, put those side by side. This gives you an idea of where you are now. So, knowing where you are now, consider 3 ways forward. And if it helps, you can pretend that you are looking at the evidence of someone else and advise them on 3 possible futures based on what's in front of you. They can be as bright or as bleak as the evidence indicates. And these futures need to be formed seriously, but they can have aspiration and imagination at their core. All the options are equally valid at this stage, so there's no need to rank or compare them. For the next stage, look at the three options and check to see which of the resources that you identified in step 1 that have not been used. Make a note of them and consider why they don't feature anywhere, because these are things that you have that you can draw on. Think how they could be incorporated and how they could be used to improve the outcome of any or all of those options. Look at the three options and identify what skills, resources, conditions would be needed to make them viable, real, actually doable. And for this you may need to consider timescales, emotional input, commitments and things like that, along with everything you already listed if these haven't been considered. Put the three options side by side with all the supporting evidence on the table, and then read each one as if you were assessing them as an impartial judge. Give an honest critique of each one, along with any recommendations or suggestions for improvement. If you feel that one option is more desirable, give yourself reasons why, explain the benefits that will accrue from this option, and compare the possible benefits of others to prove your argument. You now have at least one realistic way forward. Imagine a point in time, 6 or 12 months hence, where you had carried out the winning option, and make a note of what would be different about you at that point. How would you feel? How would you look? How would you sound? What would others notice as being different about you? What would your surroundings look like? In what way have your reactions changed? And what would you have gained? Now, either in written words or in some sort of image or colour, just describe that new person. You can use whatever medium you need to express yourself, and go into as much detail as possible and create as full an image as possible. Literally look at them from every angle and know what their life is really like. Because this is your life, and you've just worked out how to make it happen. Let me know if you need any help making it happen. But as you look back through this, you'll see that quite without planning it, you've created a plan. That's all for today.